welcome back to a Talk Story with Me Wednesday. Um, so today I'm gonna try. Today's a little bit on a more serious side, but I'm gonna slide a joke here and there because it's just who I am. Anyway, I wanted to start off, and I said, okay, which story should I read from my book? And I just opened it, and it came to one of my favorite stories. Um, Mr. Larry. So, Mr. Larry was my intermediate school counselor. So, I'm just going to start off by reading it really quick. It's not a long story, I have a bunch of short stories. Okay, Mr. Larry. He was my counselor at my intermediate school. He was a very special person to me. Mr. Larry somehow knew I was being abused at home. He sometimes we sometimes talked about it, but most times he just talked about whatever he wanted to. I just listened. He talked about his kids and fishing. I always wished secretly that he was my dad. There were times when Mr. Larry knew that I had a hard night. He would send for me to come into the office, and I would just sit there and do my work. I just could not hang in a classroom full of my peers, and somehow he knew that. I don't think at the time I was in school there was much for the kids who were being abused. No programs or help. There was a few, but child abuse was not looked at as abuse. It was more like discipline. People would just turn their backs and look away. Nobody wanted to get involved. Being in his office, it wasn't always sad. He made sure to make me laugh or just take away my thoughts of the night before. I was president of my class. I took this role seriously. I enjoyed leadership. There was always something after school to attend. It kept me from having to go home. I always came home to an empty house or yelling and screaming. I was more than happy to stay wherever I could. I ran away from home and I was caught. I was put into a juvenile detention home. And that was scary. But because I was a sister of my notorious sister, Billy, I was left alone. I guess sometimes it is good you related to a badass. After a week in there, I was sent to a group home. I didn't have a chance to say bye to anyone, not even Mr. Larry. I ran away that night because my mom was in an extra spicy mood. She was just not taking any bullshit from me, no matter what it was. If I blinked the wrong way, I deserved a slap. But that night, she said, fuck it, I'm going to give you a good beat down. This tiny woman had Wonder Woman strength. She picked up my ass and flew me clear across the room. Her hits were powerful. I just tucked my head in as she hit me. But my mom would make us look at her when she was hitting or pinching us. She needed to see our face when she was punishing us. So I pieced out whenever this happened. The group home I went to had a pancake fundraiser one morning, and we were having fun eating pancakes. Two of our counselors walked up Two of our counselors walked up to me and asked if they could speak with me outside. I was thinking, oh shit, what did I do wrong? They told me that Mr. Larry was killed in a car accident. I froze. I felt like I couldn't breathe, and I ran. Didn't know where I was going, but just wanted to run. I didn't run away. I just had to not be there. My only adult confidant was no longer on this earth. What the F was I going to do? I cried a lot. I even gave up on God and cursed. I asked God, why? Why are you taking all the people I have in my life? Why do I have to be alone? Why can't you just give me a effing break? When I got back, the counselors was waiting to speak to me. I did not know this, but a week before Mr. Larry died, he had written a letter to the group home I was staying at. Oh God, don't cry. Mr. Larry said, I was a born leader, that if given the opportunity, I would be great at whatever I put my heart into. He believed in me. No one else did. Mr. Larry shared that although my circumstances was not in my control, he wishes there was more he could do. That in writing this letter, he could share that I was a special person and to just give me a chance. He also said that when I danced the hula, it looked as if I was floating like an angel. I cried because up until that point, I never knew he'd known where I was. Mr. Larry was my first hero. I didn't have a chance to tell him in person, but I did send him a message to heaven to say thank you, Mr. Larry. That night, I ran away from the group home. Sorry, I got emotional. Um, so this is just one part of the book that I wrote, and it just talks about my counselor, Mr. Larry. He was such a wonderful man, and I'm just so sad that his life, along with his son, was taken in a car accident. But I attribute a lot of my strength because of Mr. Larry. Abuse is hard, you know, especially as a child. And I think growing up, when you were abused growing up, the expectations are so low that if somebody was to hit you or beat you up, it didn't matter because you grew up thinking that's how it's supposed to be. That you deserved it. You didn't know any better. So being caught in a domestic violence situation and having partners who treated you like crap, like you were nothing, was quite common because that's how you were treated your whole entire life from that point. So you didn't know. I didn't know. Frick. I found out like at 50 that, oh, I am better than what other people say I am. I don't deserve. But even at 50, I got involved again with a domestic violent person. And I figuring it out is hard. Figuring it out and moving forward is hard. But here I am at 58. Oops. Can you hear me? Kidding. Here I am at 58. Um, I'm reaching out to the younger generation. I'm reaching out and I'm praying. I'm hoping, even if it just reaches one person and they believe that they are better than what it is and they find strength in stepping out of the situation they're in, then I've done what I believe God wants me to do. I believe the reason why I survived all this health issues, all this violence is so I can come on this newly YouTube and share and pray that people, male, female, it don't matter, that they can find help, get out of the situation that they're in. There's so much more programs now. Back in my days, I, real quick, I tried to commit suicide. in that intermediate school, I just did not want to do it. So I took a whole bunch of pills. I don't even know what it was. And they took me, they called my mom and said, "You need to come get your child because she just took a whole bunch of pills. We don't know what it is." My mom, she actually took me to the hospital, surprising. And back then, and they still could do it now, I don't know, is they make you drink this tar stuff and you start throwing up and throwing up and throwing up. And then after I threw my guts out, my mom packed me up in her car, drove me to, we lived in a walk up, a 3-story walk up. She didn't even pull into the parking. She pulled on the side. She'll make, "Okay, get out, go upstairs." And I'm walking upstairs, throwing up on my way to the house. I kept throwing up. Finally got into my house and my apartment and throwing up there, and that was it. Nobody gave a damn why you tried to kill yourself. Did anybody come and check on me? Nope. Did counselors, like, did the hospital call, CPS or whatever? Well, there was a time that CPS was called. It's only because the neighbors heard her beating me up. But anyway, there's a story in there. Um, nobody cared. Um, I lived because God, and there's just so much. But what I want you young people to know, that there's so much more programs now, and there's trustworthy adults. I know it's hard to find, I get that, but there is. And if you can't find anyone, leave a little note down by in the comment, and I will promise you that I would try and help you in whatever way I can. I will try to help you, even if you just need an ear, or we can be like pen pals, whatever it is. I don't know. I mean, I'm here, so I have to keep trying. But anywho, that is my talk story. Okay, do I have a joke so we can lighten the mood? Uh, no, I don't have any jokes. Sorry, I don't. I think I'm just a goofy person enough. But just know that life doesn't always have to be sad. Um, that even though you've been through a lot, you can still find some sort of humor. I mean, look what I did. This is humorous in itself. My hair, I cannot. But just be happy, guys. I mean, you lived for another day. Do something about it. Go for a beautiful walk. Listen to the birds. Do whatever, come what may. And I pray for you. I pray for all of you, everyone and anyone who needs prayers. I pray for you. God bless, and I will see you. I didn't talk about, okay. I always do this. It's always like when I'm like ready to say goodbye, then I start to remember. Oh, okay. Quick. I do have a growth. Doctors already spoke to me about it in my thyroids, and they did say that through the, is it MRI with contrast? Anyway, it has the characteristics of cancer. Um, but they're gonna do a biopsy. But in my opinion, I think they should just take it out. No need biopsy. Just take the stuff out. I will let you guys know because my appointment is the day that you guys are seeing this. That's when I go in and I find out. So wish me luck. All right, now I promise I'm gonna say bye. Am I really gonna say bye? Think about it, Mick. You said everything. All right, love you guys. God bless. Walk in light and love, peace, and be kind. Bye.